Welcome back to my channel. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about entrepreneurship and opportunity and what these definitions look like. I'm going to read some popular definitions and we're going to try to talk about what they mean in everyday English. So here's a good definition from Wood and McKinley, 2010, and that is opportunity is a future situation that is both desirable and feasible. Opportunity is a future situation that is both desirable and feasible. Let's think about what that might mean. Well, obviously, if you want something, it's a positive outcome. We would interpret that as desirable, and therefore that would be one of the prerequisites for it being an opportunity. But we also talk about that it needs to be feasible. There's a lot of things that just can't be done. I won't put it in this video, but those of you that ever watched the Ali G show, one of my favorite shows, by the way, and Ali G goes and meets with some venture capitalists, and he tells them, he does two things that represent non-opportunities. First of all, when he presents his idea, it's for an ice cream glove. The idea is that you'd put a glove on when you would eat ice cream so it wouldn't drip on your suit. Well, this was a product that most of the venture capitalists decided was not desirable. Who cares was kind of the feedback, that like, why would you carry around a glove in your pocket so you could put it on when you have ice cream? So then he had a second idea for one of the venture capitalists, and he had a skateboard with no wheels on it, and he said, well, this is my other idea. And the guy said, well, what's this? And he said, well, it's a hoverboard. And he kind of holds it like this and goes like that. And the guy says, well, but it doesn't do this. He says, yeah, but that's where you venture capitalists come in. You're going to hire the engineers for me. And the guy's like, no, we don't do that. This is an idea that is not feasible at this time, at this point in time. So that wasn't an opportunity either. So the ice cream glove might have been feasible. I mean, you could make an ice cream glove, right? But it wasn't one that was desirable. And most people think the hoverboard was cool, therefore it's desirable, but it's not feasible given the technological constraints at that time. So these are the two things, desirable and feasible for an entrepreneurial opportunity. Now, Shane and Venkat indicate that opportunities are omnipresent and objective, but their recognition is a subjective phenomenon. OMG, what does that even mean? Well, first of all, let's pick apart some of these things. Omnipresent. Omnipresent means that they're everywhere at all times. Okay, so the opportunities, they're out there, they're surrounding us. Okay, and that they're objective. Now, if you go back to my previous video when we showed an objective understanding of opportunity, that means that the opportunity is out there. The trick is we as humans can't always recognize their opportunities. So the recognition of the opportunity is a subjective phenomenon. My advisor had a good way of explaining it. He said, you look at a mountain and you can look at the top. Now, the top definitely exists. You can see the top. Maybe even know people that have been to the top. But getting to the top is a subjective phenomenon, because how do you get to the top? Do you walk up the top? Do you take a helicopter there? Do you drive up there? Who knows? Right? These are different choices to get to that, mountaintop to achieve that opportunity. We're not all smart enough to recognize opportunities in the marketplace. So therefore, some people will naturally be more successful and others will not. Okay? And whenever we use that term objective, that's implying a discovery perspective, discovering the opportunity. Subjective implies creation, but this is actually saying that the entrepreneur is creating a path to achieve an objective opportunity. Okay. Here's another definition. Short, Ketch, and Shook in Ireland talk about an entrepreneurial opportunity as an idea or dream that is discovered or created by an entrepreneurial entity and is revealed through analysis over time to be potentially lucrative. Well, that almost implies the articulation perspective that I looked at, that I talked about in the last video, right? I mean, you've got this generalized aspiration, and maybe you can discover customers or you can create customers to generate, that kind of opportunity, that moment in time. And then as you're going through the process, it's revealed that somehow you can make money off of this particular good or service. So these are kinds of definitions of entrepreneurial opportunity. So I think this is a pretty good transition into our discussion of entrepreneurship. So Shane and Venkat in the same article, they say that entrepreneurship is the study of the sources of opportunities. In other words, it is the study of the process of discovery, evaluation, and exploitation of opportunities, and the set of individuals who discover, who discover, evaluate, or exploit them. You could add emulate in there too, by the way. So what they're saying here is that to study entrepreneurship, it's the study of opportunities and the people who have something to do with those opportunities. That's the study of entrepreneurship. Now, Bygrave and Hoffer offer a different definition. And they say an entrepreneur is an individual who visualizes an opportunity and creates an organization to reach that opportunity. Again, that's very much like the mountain metaphor that I discussed just a couple of seconds ago. They visualize that wonderful opportunity out there, and they create that organization to reach it. So there's a little bit of discovering the opportunity, but the creation piece is the organization that you actually create. So there's both discovered and created perspectives here. And so that leads to an important point. And feel free to disagree with me, by the way. But most forms of entrepreneurship have both discovered and created elements to them. It's very rare that an opportunity is purely discovered or purely created or even purely articulated. It's usually some sort of a blend or a mix of these two or three concepts. Now, another definition from Short et al. Indicate that opportunity defines the boundary conditions of entrepreneurship, and without an opportunity, no entrepreneurship may take place, irrespective of the work ethic of the individual entrepreneur. So in other words, if there's no opportunity, there's no room for entrepreneurship, no matter how smart, talented, clever, wonderful the entrepreneur is. Let's give an example. So we talk about entrepreneurial opportunities as both desirable and feasible. Okay. A lot of people have talked about, wouldn't it be cool if we could mine asteroids? Because asteroids have gold, nickel, iron. They have lots of great metals in there. I don't think anybody would dispute that there's opportunities in mining asteroids. Well, here's the problem. We can't even get to Mars right now in 2021. We can't even manage to get like a rover to Mars hardly. I mean, we've got some rovers and stuff, but we can barely get anything over there. We can't get anything back yet. And yet the asteroid belt is even farther away and a lot more complicated to get to. So that is an opportunity right now that is not feasible. So no matter how smart I am and no matter how hard I work, until I make getting to an asteroid and mining it feasible, mining asteroids is not actually an opportunity right now. And so therefore no entrepreneurship in this particular area is possible either, right? I remember watching a really cool show when I was, I guess, in middle school. It was called Femme Nikita. I don't know if anybody's ever seen the show. I really like the show. I'm sure if I watched it now, I'd think it was lame, but in the 90s, it was really cool. So there was one episode where they hooked up the agents to these kind of like virtual reality things that were very immersive, and it was very intense, and it was something that people really liked. Well, I mean, I think, totally immersive virtual reality experiences that seem real, that's a great opportunity. Again, we don't question the desirability of it, but again, I don't think the technology is there right now. So therefore, I cannot be this kind of virtual reality entrepreneur because the technology doesn't exist yet. So I hope that example helps. Now, another definition that we've got here, McMullen, Plummer, and Axe indicate that entrepreneurial opportunity is described as a chance to undertake entrepreneurial action, and that entrepreneurship is a broader subclass of human behavior. So in other words, entrepreneurship is one of many different behaviors that humans can engage in. And opportunity is kind of everywhere. Some people will be entrepreneurs, some people will be managers, some people will be the ones that sit at home and eat potato chips instead of being entrepreneurs. But entrepreneurship is one type of human activity among many others. And it's not that being an entrepreneur is like a superior form of behavior or anything like that. No. I mean, it's going to be related to your personality, your interests, your desires, your time, your resources. So yeah. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this particular discussion of entrepreneurship and opportunity. As always, hit that like button if you like this video. Definitely hit that subscribe button. And post any comments down below if you have any questions. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.